you guys, I wanted to start a new series where I talk a little bit more to you about my story. I get asked all the time, how did you get started in training, or how did you get started in competing, or how did you get your job, or whatever it is. So I'm going to start off this series of my story by telling you guys exactly how I went from an insecure, unconfident personal trainer to the head trainer over all the Ideal brands, which is now an international company. So I'm going to be filming this series out here on my deck. So hopefully the weather cooperates as we go through this. So today let's just talk about how I got my job. Okay, that's what I want to talk about first. So I have always been, back when I was a kid, I was the chubby kid. And then when I was in high school, I never really quite outgrew that. I was always like a little bit of the thicker kid. I was in weight training in high school. I remember I liked to jog around my house sometimes. I was on the swim team, but I was never really fit, so I'd say. So when I went to BYU for college in 1998, it was actually my sophomore year, so it would have been 1999, my roommate and I got gym memberships at the local, it was a Gold's Gym at the time, Gold's Gym chain. So we got gym memberships, and for me personally, working out has never been an issue. That was always something that stuck and that was easy. Nutrition, that's another story, and I'll talk to you guys about that on another video. But I got that first gym membership, and I have been going regularly ever since. The only time I've ever taken breaks from the gym is when I had a baby, or if it was like a planned rest week or something like that. So working out's never been an issue for me. In fact, I love working out, and I love learning about it. I love the science, and I love nutrition, even though that was really hard for me to wrap my head around. I had a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that you can't out-train a bad diet. I fought that one for years, and I'll tell you guys that story later. So I remember it was after my second baby, Brindley, was born. She's now 12 years old. And I really wanted to get certified to be a trainer. What I was thinking was, it was right when online coaching was becoming more popular, and I was thinking about ways that I could work from home and, you know, make some money, help kind of support my family a little bit, but staying home and doing something I love. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But I was so embarrassed. I did not want to get certified to be a trainer because I did not feel confident in the way I looked. I felt like I didn't look like a trainer. I didn't look fit. Why would someone come to me for advice when I didn't look the part? That's kind of what I was thinking. And so I remember talking with a friend, and she encouraged me to just go for it, be brave. I knew I was scared, but just do it anyway and push myself outside of that comfort zone. So I did, and as I was getting certified, I wrote workout programs for friends for free, friends and family, and then when I got my certification, I started charging just a small amount, and then the word just kind of got out, and I just started doing workout plans only at this time. Just, you know, friend of a friend, referral type of thing. But I realized that if I wanted to get really good, which of course I wanted to be the best at what I did, I had to step outside of that comfort zone and get out from behind my computer and work with clients one-on-one. So I found the smallest gym in my city or in my area, and I went and applied for a job there. There was no way I was going to apply for a job at my gym because I was way too embarrassed to tell anyone I was a trainer. Nobody knew, only my close friends. Like no one at my gym knew that I was a trainer. I was too embarrassed. So I found this tiny little gym, and I applied for a job. And I remember at my second interview, this is so lame and so embarrassing, you guys. I remember I brought my baby. She was like 6 months old at the time. I brought her with me. So it was kind of like, here's my baby, here's my excuse as to why I don't look the part. Like I was that self-conscious. Isn't that so lame? So I ended up working there for a couple of years, and I got really confident in how to connect with people and how to write programming for people and things like that, and make workouts fun. So I remember while I was working there, one of my friends was like, Lindsay, you need to do boot camps. Boot camps are where it's at. That's where the fitness industry is going. And I was like, there is absolutely no way I could ever work out in front of people. Like a group of people watching me work out like in front of people, like on a stage, like absolutely no way. But that seed was planted, and I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, oh, maybe if that's where the trends are going, maybe I should get in on this, you know? So I decided to go for it. I told my husband, I was like, hey, if I have 8 people sign up, That'll make it worth my time, is what I was thinking. So I remember I printed up these flyers. I went around and I flyered neighborhoods in my city. I flyered for hours and hours on my feet, walking around, taping flyers to doors. And I remember the day the 8th person signed up, I about had a panic attack. I was like, oh my gosh, now I really have to do this. Oh, what am I doing? So I planned that first boot camp. It was at my neighborhood clubhouse, and there were 8 people there. And to make a very long story short, I did that for about 7 years, and we outgrew that neighborhood clubhouse. We moved into a dance studio. We outgrew the dance studio and moved into the largest gymnastics facility in the county. And when I stopped doing boot camp, I stopped because I moved. When I stopped doing it in our last session, I had 175 people, split between multiple classes. But in that session, there was 175 people. And so it grew like crazy. People loved it. And through that experience, I learned so much about running my own business, just being productive with my time, things like that. But mainly, I learned how to motivate groups of individuals and how to keep health and fitness and nutrition. I had a nutrition portion of this. How to keep that fun and exciting and keep people motivated. So I also learned how to exercise in front of people. And it wasn't something that scared me at all anymore, and it still doesn't make me nervous to this day, which is funny because that was so scary to me at the time. And I was really scared, but I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna put myself out there, push past those mental barriers, and I'm gonna do this. So it was while I was teaching boot camp that I still had online clients throughout this whole process. I kept those on, and I was doing nutrition as well. Kind of throughout the years, I learned a lot more about nutrition, and I added that into my online coaching. One of my clients was the social media person for Ideal Shape. So at the time, it was just the Ideal Shape brand, which is our weight loss brand. And she was like, hey, we're doing this social media campaign called Your Ideal, and we're doing videos on like fitness people in the area. Could we come and make this little 2 to 3 minute video about you and your boot camp program? And at the end, you just say, and I'm Lindsey, and this is my ideal. And I was like, perfect, that sounds awesome, of course you can. So they came in, we did this awesome little video. It was a great experience. About a week or 2 later, she called me and she was like, hey, Ideal Shape is actually hiring for a head trainer and nutritionist and face of the company. It'd be a really cool opportunity. You'd be able to like write programs, do video, write ebooks, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, nah, no thanks. I'm good. I got a good thing going. I'm fine. And so I told her no. She calls me back like a week later and she's like, are you sure? It's a really cool job. I think you'd be awesome. Like, seriously, it's an amazing job. And I was like, no thanks. And she's like, well, do you know anyone else who might be interested? And I was like, sure. So I gave her a couple of my friends' names and numbers. And then the week later, she calls me and she's like, hey, the owners, they really like your My Ideal video and they really want to talk to you. Can you just please come in and tell them no so they'll stop bugging me about you? And I was like, okay, fine. So I went in there and I met the owners of Ideal Shape. I learned more about their vision and their passion for helping people transform and improve their lives. And I walked out with a job. I was like, I have to have that job. That is something I really, really want to do. So was I scared? Yes, because what they were saying was that I was going to be all over social media. I was going to be on TV. I was going to be doing all of these things that I couldn't even wrap my head around at the time. So, but I tried to be brave, push outside of that comfort zone and accept that job. And this was back in 2014 and haven't looked back since. I've had some of the most amazing, incredible experiences, and I'm going to be talking about some of those experiences in the next video. So if you guys like this series, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the little bell, and I will keep telling you guys more about my story and the evolution of me and my career.